Well, another after show is starting, and I have no idea a cliche, corny / funny way to start it, so we're just gonna say hi. What's up, everybody? Here in the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood. I'm Dylan, your Flash fan, and we're all hanging out. Say what's up to everybody.
What up, guys?
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going?
Wait, so Barry travels back in time, and shouldn't there be 2 of them if he travels back in time?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. It should be another one, but I mean, it's hard to say because I guess in this they kind of had it to where he took over his consciousness, maybe, and so they kind of just molded into one type deal. I don't know, but I thought we might have seen 2 Barrys on the screen.
I think this is the thing. Clearly, there's no time travel that actually exists nowadays. So you can kind of, depending on which series it is, I think that the writers kind of take that in their free form and they decide these are the rules with time travel.
Yeah. And I'm going on with that because also if the writers, if he wants to keep going back in time, if he goes back in time and there's one now and then he goes forward in time and then he goes back in time and there's another one and we're going to get to like midway through season 2 and there's going to be like 50 Flashes.
But is it possible that there's 2 Flashes out there? I'm just trying to comprehend it. So he goes back in time and he like takes his body.
I knew this was going to get confusing.
No,
I knew it. I called it.
His original. He went back to that same time where he saw himself originally when we saw in the previous episode when they were running side by side. He saw himself for a second. That was the point in where he then got to go back in time.
Okay, so let's say we're in that previous day at the beginning. Then it's just like, it's that same Barry, but now he just has like the knowledge of the future.
Of what one timeline can be.
Yes.
That's the knowledge.
Now all of a sudden he has memories of tomorrow.
It's really more about the timeline that we're following rather than what point in future or past that he is. Okay, I think if you think about it like that, it can make a little bit more sense.
Well, maybe, I mean, because in Flashpoint Paradox, for example, he goes back in time and grabs his former self, saves himself, and fights, does stuff. But in this, maybe he only hit a certain speed to transfer enough consciousness rather than his whole embodiment. You see what I'm saying?
That's a very good point.
Because he barely hit it. Like, he was like, oh, what is this? And then he kind of, where at that point, when we get to Flashpoint time where he wants to save his mama, he can do the time travel.
So, but how did he get back then? So he obviously was
Well, there's plenty of ways.
I
mean, on the last episode, he got fast enough because he was running fast enough and he opened the wormhole.
No, I know that's how he got there. How did he get back,
He can use Cosmic Treadmill whenever that comes into play because they have that treadmill. And Eobard Thawne, who I'm no longer
You mean how would he get back
to
the time where he traveled back from? How would he go forward?
Back to the future. Just say it.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, Dylan.
Well, no.
He would have to. No, that I believe now that timeline is erased. That timeline's gone now.
Yeah.
If he could have carried that timeline, he can't go. I don't think he's got the power to go back to that same timeline yet. Okay. If he did have the power to go back to the future, then he would be able to go back there.
There's actually going to be a documentary called Back in Time, I think it's going to be called, about Back to the Future, and it's going to be the most comprehensive documentary about Back to the Future. So look out for that. That's going to be awesome. Michael J. Fox is doing interviews and stuff. But what I do like about his time travel, that if there were time travel in real life, you don't really even need a machine. If you just travel at a certain speed, you will move through time.
Which is why he can go back and then come back later in the future when he gets fast enough. He can go back and forth willingly.
And I know Harrison Wells was concerned with disrupting the timeline, but good thing he only went back one day. So, only one day is not that much going to change, but we did see some change. So, theoretically now, we won't see this whole tidal wave scene and Joe being captured, kidnapped, and all that by Weather Wizard, because now Weather Wizard's in the jail. What we didn't see now, and like we said last week, is this was a big finale of what could be, but now we're going to inch toward that with what will be. And now Cisco did not die. Woo. But maybe Harrison Wells was about to kill him in that scenario. Yeah, do we?
Well, I think that when they were in that scene right before Caitlin Snow called for them over the intercom, I think that he was testing Cisco out, trying to figure out, does he know the same things that he already knows? Does he have the same suspicions? Because remember they were talking about triggering.
Is he at the same
so that's
point?
why exactly. So that's why he kept asking him. He's like, "Why are you down here? Why would you think?" And he's like, "Oh, well, just because you're rubbing my face in it because we made a mistake. I know we made a mistake." So he was testing him, trying to see if he would say anything that he was suspicious of him.
Yeah. Now Cisco, because of what's happened in Cisco's life now, he's just gone through this massive event.
So he's not thinking about
ideas
Harrison
of
Wells
Wells
at all
is gone now.
Right.
So that's
and he
what
gave
Wells
up Barry's
doing.
identity.
And he gave up Barry's identity.
Pretty big meatball. Pretty big matzo ball.
Right?
That's bad.
Do you think the Flash was good to go back and take Marden and put him in jail, or do you think he should have left it as it was? Do you think he's
No,
I mean, we're seeing on Twitter and we're seeing on the YouTube comments, everyone was saying they preferred the older timeline.
I actually do too.
Well,
I actually
do, for
enjoyed
sure.
the older timeline
For sure.
myself, but, and I'm gonna just say this now to clear some stuff up. I've been Irish bashing personally for a while now, okay? And I really like Iris. I want her with Barry. But I will say, Barry just did some dirtiness right now, thinking he can go ahead and steal her away from Eddie and go ahead and
Just
swoop
'cause-
up on
yeah,
her
right.
with that whole thing. So I'm not mad at Eddie for that sock in the jaw.
No, you
Do
can't
I
be
think,
mad at
you know,
that.
Barry Allen could have dodged that? Yes, because he's the fastest man alive. And there's a lot of things I need to work out with
Yeah,
this
but he can't show
inconsistency.
that. He can't show
But
that when he's not in the
he's
Flash
gonna,
costume.
You take that punch and you suck it up like, man, I'm glad Iris turned him down. Good, kudos to Iris for that one. But in the end, I need to see a Virus or I rarely, whatever you want to
Virus.
call
Well,
them.
let's
celebrity
ask
name.
the fans out there and everyone here if Iris only loves the Flash and she's hot for the Flash, or does she really love Barry? And you can hit us up in the YouTube comments right now, or use the hashtag #TheFlashAS
Do it
to
now.
let us know. So do you think, Lauren? Let's ask from a woman's point of view, because that superhero, that hot popular guy, when he's killing it and he's saving the day, he's really attractive. But that little maybe nerdy, science guy, maybe not so attractive.
See, I actually think that Iris is very much so attracted to both, and I think that that's maybe also a little bit of what's holding her back before, the fact that that extra little excitement factor that she doesn't think Barry necessarily has, that the Flash has. I think that maybe she's holding out for someone who has both. But like I pointed out when we were actually watching it, Iris did admit and give the kiss to Barry before he showed her that he was the Flash.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely positive.
But they were in such it was such an
Yes,
exciting
and that's what Harrison
moment.
said.
Like Joe had been kidnapped, the Weather Wizard was
Yeah.
about to ruin the
Yeah.
city. There was a huge tidal
'Cause at the
wave
end of the
coming.
day-
They were like,
Yeah, there's
me
a lot
and
of
you,
things
this is
going
the
on.
end of
There's
our
a lot of
life.
things-
That was it.
I think at the end of the day, as much as she loves the excitement of the Flash, and as Devon would say, it's a panty trapper, which I'm not disagreeing with. I think that ultimately the crux of whom she really loves is Barry, just as Barry.
Did you just drop a whom with an
I did.
with an M on the end?
WHOM status. Okay.
If anybody watches House of Cards, Frank Underwood and Kevin Spacey, he pronounces those whips, those WHs, White House, a lot. He's on that WH kick like
In the
Stewie
phonetic.
does. So,
I'm not going to do
okay.
it.
Well then, Iris's boss now, instead of Cisco dying with some vibrations to the chest, Iris's boss is, look at you, you're making me talk all English.
Rubbing
Iris's
off on
boss is now gone. Does this have any, do you think, will this have any ripple effect moving forward, either based on the comic book or in what we know so far of the characters?
I mean, so far it obviously already has had a ripple effect. And yeah, instead of Cisco getting the Mortal Kombat, now the dude Simon, or what's his name? What's her boss's name? I forgot.
Mason.
Yeah, Mason.
Either way, now he got the Mortal Kombat to the chest, which we thought he was gonna survive. But then he out of nowhere he was just like, nah.
Come on behind him, and it was like,
yeah, he got him.
So
So it was
sick.
cool to see, but somebody had to die. He said
I'm not
somebody.
gonna lie. This episode, I was saying it before. This episode wasn't a favourite of mine.
Yeah, I know.
I've been enjoying this Flash so far. That's been like bam, kaboom, like amazing.
Well, it's
like
you gotta
this
get
was
there.
Just,
You gotta
yeah,
get
I
to
feel
those
like-
places.
Normally, I really like Wentworth Miller as well. I thought he was himself as an actor. He was great in this, but the actual character of Captain Cold was kind of dead. We got to see Lisa Snart's gun, which ended up being a gold gun.
Right.
I was expecting a golden glider to be some badass.
As we
She
were
was
saying,
fun.
like during the
Yeah.
show, if you got a gun that can turn anything to like solid gold, you
Why
don't
are you
need to
robbing
rob
stuff?
anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you robbing
Like,
things?
what you
Makes
robbing
no
you for?
sense.
Probably
Get
not
some
the same
bricks,
kind of gold
get some
as
like
well.
house
I don't
making
know if
bricks,
I
Exactly.
bring them real quick,
Exactly.
and sell them.
Done.
Like,
Done.
come on now.
No, because it's
But
the
what-
weight of the gold. Isn't
I
it?
guess.
What
Also,
about
too,
what about the powers of Golden Glider in the comics? Any
Well, there's
info on
two
that?
different versions. You have the pre-New 52, and then you have the post-New 52. And the post-New 52 is kind of like, almost like, y'all know who Starfire is from the Teen Titans? She's
Yeah.
almost just like her, just like a holographic, like pretty golden version.
Yeah, okay,
And
cool.
has the, aerial projection, do
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But the pre-version was like with the weapons and the gun, kind of like her brother.
Yeah.
And they're using obviously the pre-version,
pre-version,
but
yeah.
like a hint at her New 52 self with that golden gun. So it's like,
Well,
I don't-
yeah, go ahead.
I was
Go
just
ahead,
gonna
Lauren.
say, yeah, let me get in there. Arg. No, I was just going to say that I think that it's not exactly really fair that, Harrison Wells is kind of putting all of this on Barry, saying like, you can't go back in time because you're messing everything up. I think that's really just bad luck. He could also go back in time and good shit could happen. I just kind of feel like
So hypocritical.
yeah, it's not fair.
And there's a chance that Harrison knows all of this already.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious to see what did Harrison affect when he came back the first time, because there had to be a different
So
timeline.
true.
Well, he's
when
been
he did.
and he's been there for 15
And so I'm just
years.
curious to see if we'll get that unveiling eventually or not. I mean,
It's just like.
Well, the explosion,
Well, as a matter
right?
of fact,
Wasn't the
hold on.
whole explosion because of him? So
I'm not calling him Harrison Wells no more. I'm just clarifying that right now.
Reverse Flash.
Aelbard Thawne. No, his name is Aelbard Thawne. Thawne, that's what he's getting called. Harrison Wells, out of the window. Okay,
I'm
right now
having
he's just a handicapped version of Aelbard Thawne.
I'm having like transgenial migraine or whatever they want to call it. Thinking about what the hell's going on here. But I'm glad you brought up the Gold Gun and Lisa Snart and Golden Glider, because the name of the episode was Rogue Time. No, it's not a dance move or something. But Captain Cold is now assembling the rogues. Did we find anything a little bit more about this episode of what his intentions are, or what essentially he wants to do besides maybe take over the world? Or is that pretty much sums it up?
Pretty much sums
pretty
it
much
up.
sums it up.
Pretty much sums it up.
We'll become really rich, steal everything, and take over everything.
He's clever about things, though. He's always just. He's the,
Yeah, he has a little bit of like sarcastic snarkiness to
But
him.
he's also the villain that's the step ahead. Like, he's the only one that's really, for one, still alive and not trapped, besides the Reverse Flash. Out of all the villains that he's fought, this is the one who's actually being a good villain. Like, he's the one who's actually going somewhere. So I've got my kudos to Captain Cold. You know how to be a badass.
Hey.
Yes, seen some comments. We want to see Mirror Master. That'll be cool. We've seen previews of Trickster coming up, and there's actually 2 actors playing the Trickster. There's the original Mark Hamill, who's playing I guess he's 60-year-old version, and then there's going to be a younger man version. So there will be time. Either time travel will be involved, or it might be 2 tricksters.
Yeah.
Exactly. Only time will tell, and only time will tell if you guys stick around after this quick break, because we're going to get to Twitter questions. So do not go anywhere.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like Hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Yes, we're back in the studio here, and I just saw a post from Superhero Feed that next week's episode is called Tricksters, plural, and they posted the young Tricksters, so there's probably both. But we have an announcement for you, because if you guys have been online, you've seen the Flash casting news that Deathbolt will be coming to the Flash later on this season. The actor playing Deathbolt, Doug Jones, will not only be appearing on the Flash, the TV show, but guess what, Lauren?
What, Dylan?
He'll be appearing right here on the Flash After Show. All right. So on April 21st, after that episode airs, he'll be right here in the studio, and I know he's going to be on an episode of Arrow as well, and I believe he will be also doing the after show here at the stream for Arrow too. So April 21st, look out for Doug Jones, who's also played Silver Surfer and Pan's Labyrinth and all that. But it's time to get to some Twitter questions and all that.
Boom, boom, boom.
We got a special one to start off with. Let's go ahead and throw this photo up first before we even get to it. We have amazing artwork to show you. This is beautiful artwork of Devon as the Flash. How amazing is that, Devon? How excited are you?
Bro, I don't even know if you could. It was that good.
I know.
So that is now officially the wallpaper on my phone. That's officially the say on my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, everything. Richard Carey. What's good, bro?
Yes.
I mean, I even got tagged in that photo at least 3 times.
Yes.
Right.
Not even in the picture.
And if we could just throw it up one more time to just speak about it. Now, Richard Carey is homeless. He's living in Melbourne, Australia, and he started a Kickstarter campaign to help put on an event to show off his an exposition. What is it called? An exposition?
Yeah,
an exposition of his artwork to raise money. Exhibition? Exhibition. Putting on an exhibition of his artwork down in Melbourne. And he asked for $800 on Kickstarter. And it's already up to $3,800. So go ahead and check out his Kickstarter.com. And you can follow him on Twitter at blankpage76. And he's going to hook us up with photos for all of us. So thank you, Richard, for that. And Richard's got a great story. So if you head to his Kickstarter campaign, it's all right there. So thank you, Richard, and we'll look forward to that work. And thank you for the artwork, because it's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Richard.
I want to give a shout out too, actually, real quick. A big shout out to Andre Smith. You tweeted at me today, and I got you.
Did I say exposition?
You said
You
exposition.
did. That was one of the things.
Is that the past of a story before the story starts?
Pretty much.
And I actually wanted to shout out a couple people real quick. I'm gonna make it fast. At Sondo, at Best in the Galaxy, all Flash fans matter, bruh. At Jazzy_Lewis, and at Go On My Son E.
Pause? What?
Yeah, it's Go On My Son. Either way.
Go on, my son.
Your son's 5, so shout out to Rory as well. What's up,
All right,
Rory?
let's get to our first Twitter question. Thank you for that, Devon. And keep hitting us up on Twitter and the YouTube comments below. We'll get to your questions. At Simeon Leach wants to know, wouldn't Iris have to have siblings for there to be a Wally West? She has none in the flashbacks. Hashtag FlashAS, at Devon D. Stewart, at Dylan from Brooklyn.
Well, if she has half or step siblings.
Because Wally West is what, Devon? Relationship to Iris?
It was because Wally West is a nephew of hers. So either a brother or sister had to have had a child that has to be of some age. You know what I'm saying? Well, because Wally's a boy, so it's the nephew of Iris.
So it's Aunt Iris and Aunt
But Iris could
Barry.
have had step or half brothers and sisters instead of full siblings.
I mean, maybe because there's no mama, so maybe, Joe West could have left and she might have had some kids.
That's true. On the mom's side, that's very true. Now, Wally West in the Justice League cartoon, like the adult version of Wally West, is that also Barry Allen's nephew?
Yeah, the regular redhead, redhead Wally West that we all love, third Flash generation. He's still nephew.
But then, like, the younger Flash that we might be seeing on, which Greg Berlanti and Andrew Kreisberg said probably will be, multicultural actor related to Iris.
It's okay, you can say black. I don't mind.
Well, no, because he might not be. No, I ain't mind saying black. But it might not necessarily be a black kid.
I mean, was it gonna be Hispanic?
Yeah,
I mean,
it could be ethnic.
Anyways, next question.
Anyway, look out for Black Flash coming up real soon.
And there it is.
Right here, by the way.
Yeah, so
right
now
here,
now
by
you
the
have
way.
your new photo to send.
Right? So I'm sending that to Greg Berlanti right now. Robbie, I'm sending it to everybody.
He's gonna go into the audition, just go like, print.
This is my headshot.
I'll be like, this is my headshot right here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Richard Carey, okay?
Second question comes from DeMarcus1235 at Devon D. Stewart. With Flash going back in time, doesn't it leave a timeline in the future where Flash disappears in the weather incident?
That's what I was saying
Realistically,
earlier.
it does, but I don't think
it's not going to happen.
Just being realistic, I don't think with the time constraints of the show, we have enough to watch two separate parallel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we had the whole, instead of having two Barrys, just the consciousness of Barry.
Yes.
Because imagine having to do the show with two different Barry, and then Barry being like, hey, I'm Barry. Hey, you Barry. What's up?
Like,
right.
No, I agree with you.
Essentially, it doesn't matter because we'll probably never get to that.
Yeah, like I feel like that's
so
the reset button
it
has
gets
been
crushed.
hit.
Yeah, it goes trash. That previous timeline.
And we're back to
now.
where we
Here's
are.
a fan question. At Psych Studios, Tony Bush. This is for you, Devon. What if Barry's adult blood at the house was Malcolm Thawne's second Reverse Flash and the big twist?
Well,
how do they mess up?
And
Is
please,
that possible?
guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but Malcolm Thawne is not the second Reverse Flash. There were 5 Reverse Flashes throughout the Flash generation. There's the Rival, who was Jay Garrick's Reverse Flash. There's Eobard Thawne, who was the first Reverse Flash of Barry Allen. Then you have Hunter Zolomon, okay, who was, of course, Wally West, that timeline. Then you have Inertia, who was the clone of Bart Allen, okay? And then lastly, way in the future, you have Daniel West, who is, of course, related to Iris West in some way, shape, or form, as the 5th one. So I doubt it could be Malcolm Thawne's, because Malcolm Thawne is the unknown twin brother of Barry Allen, who is adopted by some Thawnes, and so he takes up the name.
Also, in the last episode, didn't, like, Harrison Wells say something about how he was actually fighting the Flash? Like, I thought that it was... Or maybe I just assumed that.
Well, Malcolm Thawne doesn't even have necessarily the Flash's ability. He has this blue flame, in a sense, where he can siphon Flash's abilities, but like he's not necessarily a speedster in a way. You know, he can be if he sights it, you can use it, but like he's not necessarily.
He doesn't have a connection to the Speed Force.
Gotcha.
All set with the Malcolm Thawne?
Yeah, we're good.
Just want to do that because that was great, Devon. That was just succinct.
On point.
Use that for your reel. Send it to DC. My man right here knows his stuff.
Yeah, he does.
So Devon D. Stewart, the Fleazy right here.
The
That's
dictionary.
why y'all love him. That's why y'all love him.
The
Good
dictionary.
stuff.
I
Let's
can't
get to
help
some live questions right now. Jack, what you got?
Give me 2 seconds, I'm just unlocking it. Question from Forever Johnny Boy. Question for the Flash AS panel. Did Barry altering the timeline cause the Snart clan to re-emerge, thereby causing different carnage?
You know, I'd like to address that. It's possible that in the original timeline that we saw that they were still running amok and about to do what they were doing anyway.
So true.
But maybe they were busy and didn't get to it.
Yeah, so they were still planning to
At the end of
capture
the day,
Cisco,
you're
but
never
Cisco was
going to
never
know
able to do
what
it.
causes what ripple causes what. Like going, that's why the timeline stuff with Back in the Future just happened again. There it was, I said it. You know, you never know what causes it.
Exactly. Yeah. One more live question.
One more live question.
Anything on YouTube or a quick shout out from YouTube?
I do have a birthday shout out, which
Say
I'm
it.
going to get to real quick. Where did you just go? Andrew 109522483. Jack, it's my birthday. Can I get a shout out? Happy birthday.
You got it, man.
Happy birthday.
Got it. Happy birthday to all the Flash fans out there. We'll see you next week. And of course, don't forget, April 21st, a few weeks away, we're going to be joined by Deathbolt himself right here in studio. But until next time, bye, guys. From the Stream.TV studios,
Mwah.
Jack, Lauren, Devon, Dylan.
Peace out.
If you want more from the Flash After Show, hit that button and subscribe to the Stream.TV.